Oh, it's AEW's special episode of Dynamite, and it's not 3 hours long. Let's go, TK!
I have a lot more fucking...
Maximum Carnage, like the classic video game of my youth. Yeah, we get to be Spidey, and no, we get to be Venom. Oh, it's Darby Allin out to get his revenge on Pac, but he died like... Let's play that again. God damn. Pac destroyed the Dar Man, but then Muscles McGee re-injured his ankle from a simple hop. Oh, you silly goose. Now that rabid animal who was never tested for rabies is destroying your ankle with every part of his body and Sting's moveset and makes the muscular man tap out. Because of a hop. The bounty hunter, Brian Keith, is collecting a bounty on the super sexy, super alcoholic. Yeah, it's the cowboy man. He's a cowboy in Wranglers, and this is a bounty hunter. So this is the pro wrestling equivalent to a Western. I try and think of what my favorite Western is, and you have the common choices like any Clint Eastwood film, you know, or my dad's favorite Tombstone. But what about the Sam Raimi 90s Western starring Sharon Stone, Gene Hackman, early Russell Crowe, and young Leonardo DiCaprio fresh off his Oscar nomination in What's Eating Gilbert Grape? The Quick and the Dead. This is so underrated for what it is, and it's honestly one of the best Sam Raimi films. It's so over the top, wild, and outrageously silly, but so much freaking fun and so memorable. All the characters have their quirks, and to this day, I remember them. Another example of films you just don't get anymore. Oh, and Hanger beats the bounty hunter. Here's Swerve wanting to be the world champion, so that summons Kenny Omega. Oh my god, it's Omega! We love Omega! Kenny Omega wants the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, but he's gotta prove himself and win matches. And Hanger, with all the respect in the world for his former tag team partner and his new bestie Swerve, like... But you can't have a Kenny Omega story in AEW without Don Callis is here. And while I am absolutely tired of these two interacting, I understand that DC is technically AEW's main antagonist and thus a necessary evil in formulating plots. So he's sending the walking weapon, who has lost every singles match that I've seen from him, to try and beat the final boss of wrestling. Oh yeah, that'll work. Brody King out to face MGF's translator, and he murders him. Next, we have a fatal four-way tag team match to determine the #1 contenders for the tag team championship. Davis and Doyle versus Jet Speed versus Goa versus... Oh, it's the former EVP, egomaniacal mafia butts from Rancho Cucamonga who lost their money and became the Broke Bucks, who then became the Millionaire Bucks after facing TK's gladiator bouts for his sick billionaire entertainment. Instead of the Bucks gaining more bucks, they could have started a revolution against TK and become revolutionaries like Leonardo DiCaprio in the film One Battle After Another, just like this full review of the film from the Meerkat. One Battle After Another is a film by White Film Bros filmmaking god Paul Thomas Anderson, aka PTA. This film's about revolutionary politics, but it's not really. No, it's about parenthood and generations. But it also effectively displays the metaphor of how revolutionary politics in the current state that it is will never effectively handle a revolution versus the opposition as portrayed in the film. It's not actually about revolutionary politics, more so than using that situation to tell a personal story in a satirically offbeat way and to get all flexy B directy. Oh, look at me, I'm directing. And the very first scene lets you know how silly this film is going to be. I personally love the humor. I love the performances. It's my favorite Leo, who plays the most useless fucking character in a film, but also my favorite Sean Penn, and I'm not even a fan of Sean Penn. It's very well directed, and the final car sequence is incredible. The time flew by for me, you know, but I'm a weird little film junkie who appreciates shit like this, you know? That said, I like Begonia and Left-Handed Girl more from 2025, but I need to see Eddington and Hamlet still. Davis with the sick pile driver, though. Here's the Triangle of Madness, the toxic spider Tekla, and the evil goth gargoyle gremlins of Sin here. And I actually dig this group. Tekla does a lot of the carrying though. And they're facing the Babes of Wrath and Chris Statlander here. And we gotta talk about fashion here for a second. The thing I love about Joshi fashion is how identifiable and color coordinated everybody is. Pro wrestling, like a lot of art, is a visual freaking medium. And what I'm seeing here is just black. Black, 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 black. Come on, you color coordinate here. Anyway, speaking of color, Sky Blue reminding me of Jennifer Lopez in The Cell that I recently watched from the 4K restoration, and it's so underrated, people. It's from the year 2000, right as J-Lo hit it big, and it's one 100% an excuse from director Tarsum Sin to just do the most theatrically brilliant, colorful visuals of that era, teamed with the golden designer Aiko Ishioka, the woman who designed Dracula, and it's a time capsule into every music video from the late 90s, and I absolutely adore it. They just don't make mainstream films like this anymore. At its core, it's just a serial killer film with Vincent D'Onofrio playing it so well. And there's a story and a plot, but if you think about it for too long, it falls apart. Basically, a billionaire's son fell into shark or something and is funding an experimental technology that allows psychiatrists to enter the patient's mind and treat them in a dream world, but the film makes zero effort into making it seem plausible, and I respect it for that. Tenet, because it's batshit insane. So then Vince Vaughn catches a serial killer and needs to find his latest victim, but he's in a coma, But there's J-Lo, so she can do it. It makes no sense. The Cell is literally all about the design, the costumes, the vibes, and J-Lo's face. And I think Tekla should win the AEW Women's World title. There needs to be more legit female villains, but I don't think it will happen, But I'm a big fan of Tekla. Here comes the Ring of Honor champion Bandito out for his AEW World Heavyweight title match facing against MJF. This was a pretty decent title match, honestly, nothing to write home about, but it was meant to be a match where MJF can show his abilities and prove he can win without being a complete cheap prick, and it succeeds in this regard. While Bandito is very good, very athletic, wild, strong, super awesome, but my whole problem is that his entire match structure is centered around landing his absolutely over-dramatic theatrical 21-plex. And I like absurd theatrical wrestling, I'm not one to harp on something like this. But the other opponent has to wait in an awkward, unnatural position for Bandito to do his little flip into a German that turns into the most powerful German in the world. Again, I watch silly wrestling all the time, but the intention with this move certainly isn't to be absolutely silly. It's meant to finish a world championship match, and I just never buy it. In the end, Bandito does land a 21-plex, and at least Max is on one knee to sell it better, but he did the flip and wasted all of his stamina to land it. That means it's a complete stamina bar wasted move. You need to level up your stamina, Bandito. MJF kicks out and immediately snatches the arm, and then Max transitions into the label lock in front of commentator Bryan Danielson and makes Bandito pass out. MJF puts over Bandito, and then he's gonna murder him. No, Brody's here, and that's the end of the show, people. Woo! Oh, look, people, I reviewed something. Does that mean I can apply for a journalist badge at the next TK press conference? I'm a reviewer now. I would ask TK so many questions about Sayaka Carrara of Stardom.
Think you got